All right, get ready, because today we're diving into Morrison Hill Road. Not just another street in Hong Kong, but a place with some serious depth.
Yeah, it's really something special. Morrison Hill Road is like this hidden pocket where you can see the heart of Hong Kong, old and new, all kind of blended together.
A hidden pocket, I like that. So for our listeners out there, what can they expect from this deep dive?
Well, we're going to look at the history of Morrison Hill Road
Yeah?
and the food scene. I mean, it's amazing.
Oh yeah, I've heard good things about the food. Gotta love a good food scene. But what about like art and culture? For the art lovers out there.
Oh, it's got that too. Tons of it. We'll talk about that. We'll even look at like the community vibe, how it feels to actually be there.
Sounds like we've got a lot to cover. Let's jump right in.
Fine.
So first things first, paint us a picture. What's Morrison Hill Road all about?
All right, so imagine you're walking down this street and you see this mix of, well, you see these shiny new buildings right next to these old, like, shop houses, really traditional architecture.
So it's like a time capsule of Hong Kong's history?
Exactly. And around every corner, there's something new to discover, like you can be walking past a historic temple and then, bam, you run into, like, a trendy cafe.
So it's a place of contrasts.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it, contrasts. It's got it all. History buffs will love it. Foodies will be in heaven. And even if you just want to, like, soak up the energy, Morrison Hill Road has got you covered.
I'm already intrigued, but let's take it back a bit. Before it became this vibrant hub, what was Morrison Hill Road like?
Well, believe it or not, it used to be an actual hill, like a green, lush hill.
Really?
Yeah, back in the 19th century. I mean, that's before all the development, they actually flattened the hill to make way for, well, for everything you see there today.
Wow, that's quite a transformation.
Yeah, it is. And the road got its name from Robert Morrison, the first Protestant missionary to China.
Oh, wow. That's a cool little history tidbit.
Yeah, and you can still see echoes of the past in the architecture, like the Blue House Cluster. Have you heard of that?
Yeah, I think I saw some pictures online, those beautiful blue buildings, right?
Yes. They're these amazingly preserved shop houses, and they give you a real glimpse into what life was like back in the day. There are even historical exhibits inside,
That was like stepping back in time.
Yeah, exactly. And then right across from that, you've got the Futak building, which is like this modern art hub, 14 stories of pure creativity.
Wow, that's quite a contrast. History and modern art side by side.
It is, and that's what makes Morrison Hill Road so unique, that blend of old and new. But enough about history for now. Let's talk about something that always gets me excited, food.
All right, let's dig in. I've heard whispers that Morrison Hill Road is a foodie's paradise.
It absolutely is. You can find everything there, from traditional Cantonese cuisine to cutting-edge fusion dishes. It's a real culinary adventure.
So paint us a picture. If we were to spend a day eating our way through Morrison Hill Road, where would we go?
Okay, so let's start with breakfast. How about a taste of Italy at Da Domenico?
Okay, I'm listening.
It's this family-run Italian restaurant, and they make the most amazing Roman-style pizza, like seriously authentic. The dough recipe has been passed down through generations.
So that's incredible. So we're starting the day with pizza.
Hey, why not? But if you're craving something more local, you got to try Joy Hing roasted meat for lunch.
All right, now we're talking. What's special about Joy Hing?
Oh, man. They're famous for their char siu. It's like barbecued pork, and it's legendary. People line up for hours to get a taste. It's that good.
That's how you know it's the real deal.
Exactly. And for dinner, let's get adventurous. How about Wakarin?
Wakarin. Never heard of it.
It's this really cool place that does like a global cuisine mashup. They take inspiration from all over the world and create these like fusion dishes that will blow your mind.
So it's like fusion, but with a twist.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's an experience, not just a meal.
All right, I'm sold. But after all that eating, we're going to need to walk it off. Where does Morrison Hill Road's art scene come in?
Well, remember that Futak building I mentioned earlier?
The 14-story art hub? Yeah.
That's the one. It's not just about galleries. It's like a living, breathing art space.
What do you mean by that?
I mean, you can wander through the hallways and see artists working in their studios. You can see creativity in action. It's really cool.
So it's more than just looking at art. It's about experiencing it being made.
Exactly. And there are workshops, performances, all sorts of events happening there. It's a must-see for anyone who loves art.
All right. I'm adding it to my list. Now, I'm someone who loves to shop for unique finds. What kind of shopping experience can I expect on Morrison Hill Road?
Well, let me tell you, Morrison Hill Road has something for everyone. If you're into like chic and trendy stuff, you got to check out Kapak.
Ooh, I love a good boutique. What kind of stuff do they have?
They have everything from like tote bags with really cool designs to handcrafted stationery. It's all very stylish.
I can already picture myself browsing through their collection.
Yeah, it's a great spot. And if you're looking for something a little more, um, I guess you could say mindful, there's Since Concept Store.
Mindful shopping. I like that.
Yeah, they focus on sustainability and um, ethical sourcing, you
Yeah.
know? They even have workshops on like mental wellness. It's a really interesting concept.
That's awesome. But let's be real, I also love a good old-fashioned market. Does Morrison Hill Road have anything like that?
Oh, absolutely. You can't miss the Wan Chai Street Market. It's the largest open-air market on Hong Kong Island.
I can only imagine the sights and sounds.
It's an experience, that's for sure. You can find everything there. Vintage clothes, antique trinkets, fresh produce, you name it. And the energy is incredible.
Okay, so we've covered history, food, art, and shopping. But what about some downtime? Does Morrison Hill Road offer any escapes from the urban jungle?
It does. It does. Believe it or not, there are actually some green spaces tucked away in the middle of all the hustle and bustle.
All right, tell me more. What kind of green escapes are we talking about?
Well, there's this park that's like a haven for skaters. They have this amazing skate park there, and it's always buzzing with activity.
So it's like a little pocket of California in the heart of Hong Kong.
Yeah, something like that. And there are also more like relaxed areas, where you can just chill out, have a picnic, let the kids run around in the playground.
Sounds perfect. And I imagine after a day of exploring, Morrison Hill Road comes alive at night.
Oh, yeah, it definitely does. The energy shifts as the sun goes down, and you get this mix of trendy bars, cozy lounges, and live music venues popping up.
Okay, I'm intrigued. What are some must-visit spots for music lovers?
Well, there's the Wanch, which is like a Hong Kong institution. They've been hosting free live music for decades. It's a legendary spot.
Love a place with history.
Yeah, and if you're looking for something a little more high energy, there's Carnegie's. They have jam nights, live bands. It gets pretty wild.
Okay, we're definitely checking that out. And after all that dancing, we're going to need some late-night eats. Any recommendations?
Remember that Borington Road Cook Food Center we talked
Mm,
about earlier? Well, it's open late, so you can grab some amazing local food after a night out.
perfect. So we've covered a lot of ground today, from the historical significance of Morrison Hill Road to its vibrant food, art, and nightlife scenes. But there's one key ingredient that we haven't explored yet: the community.
That's right. That's what we'll be diving into in part 2 of our deep dive. We'll meet the people who make Morrison Hill Road more than just a place, but a community.
Sounds good. Can't wait to hear more about it. We'll be back soon with part 2 of our deep dive into Morrison Hill Road.
Welcome back to our deep dives into Morrison Hill Road.
In part 1, we talked about the history, the food, the art, but now I'm really excited to dig into the community aspect.
Me too. What is it about the people and the stories that makes Morrison Hill Road so special?
Well, it's like this place has seen so much change over the years, right? But through it all, the people have remained, they've adapted, they've created this incredible sense of shared history.
So it's about more than just living there. It's about being a part of something bigger. Yeah, exactly. And you see it everywhere in the little shops, the family-run businesses, the way people interact with each other on the street.
I'm picturing those little hole-in-the-wall places we talked about, like the tailor shop that's been there for generations.
Exactly. Those places are like living testaments to the community's resilience. They've weathered storms, both literally and figuratively, and they're still standing strong.
They're like anchors holding the community together.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. And the stories they hold, oh man, they're gold. I remember talking to this old woman who runs a tiny tea shop, and she was telling me about like how her family came to Hong Kong.
Oh, wow. What did she say?
Well, her grandfather, he came over from mainland China way back in the day, and he started this tea shop, just a small stall back then, and it's been passed down through generations.
That's amazing. It's like a direct link to the past.
It is. And she was saying how, like, the neighborhood has changed so much around her, but the tea shop has always remained. It's like a constant.
It's a symbol of her family's history and a part of Morrison Hill Road's identity.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not just her story. Everyone you meet on Morrison Hill Road has a story to tell, and they all kind of weave together to create this beautiful tapestry.
It's like a living, breathing history book.
Yeah, and that's what makes it so fascinating. You can walk down the street and feel the weight of all those stories, the triumphs, the struggles, the everyday moments that have shaped the community.
Okay, I'm officially hooked. Now, I know we can't resist talking about food again, so let's dig back into the culinary scene. What are some of those hidden foodie gems that really showcase the community spirit?
Oh, there are so many. But one place that really stands out is this little noodle shop.
Noodles, always a good choice.
Right. And this one, it's like tucked away on a side street. You wouldn't even know it was there unless someone told you about it.
Sounds like my kind of place. What's so special about it?
Well, it's run by this older couple, and they've been making noodles there for like, I don't know, forever. Yeah. And they use like this secret recipe that's been passed down through their family.
Secret recipe, that's always a good sign.
Oh, yeah. And the noodles themselves, they're like handmade. You can taste the love and care in every bite. It's not just food, it's like an experience.
So it's about the connection, the tradition, the feeling of being welcomed into their home.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I love about the food scene on Morrison Hill Road. It's not just about the food itself, it's about the people who make it, the stories they share, the sense of community they create.
All right, my stomach is officially rumbling. Now let's shift gears a bit and talk about the Food Talk building again. I'm really intrigued by the idea of experiencing art in action, like seeing the creative process unfold.
Oh, the Food Talk building is a must-see. It's not just a building, it's like an incubator for creativity, you
Yeah.
know?
Tell me more about that. What's the vibe like inside?
Imagine like you walk in and you hear this buzz of activity. You see artists working in their studios. You smell paint, clay, all those creative smells.
It's like stepping into a different world.
Yeah. And you could just wander around, peek into the studios, chat with the artists. Really cool.
So it's about breaking down those barriers between the artist and the audience.
Exactly. And it's so inspiring to see the passion, the dedication, the sheer hard work that goes into creating art.
It's a reminder that art is more than just a finished product. It's a process, a journey.
Yeah, and the Food Doc building is a great place to witness that journey.
Hmm.
They also have like workshops, exhibitions, all sorts of events, so there's always something new to discover.
Okay, that's definitely on my list. Now, I love discovering those hidden gems, those places that are off the beaten path. What are some of Morrison Hill Road's best kept secrets?
Okay, so have you heard of the Wan Chai Heritage Trail?
I've heard the name, but I don't know much about it.
It's this like walking trail that takes you through some of the most historic parts of Wan Chai, including like hidden corners of Morrison Hill Road.
So it's like a self-guided history tour.
Exactly. And you get to see all these amazing old buildings, temples, little shops. It's like stepping back in time.
Hmm.
And it's a great way to like really get a feel for the neighborhood's history and culture.
I love that. It's like a treasure hunt for history buffs.
Yeah, it is. And it's not just about the buildings themselves. It's about the stories they hold, the people who lived and worked there, the events that shaped the community. It's fascinating.
All right, that's going on my list. Now, we talked about nightlife in part one, but are there any hidden music gems that we should check out?
Oh yeah, tons. But one place that's really special is this little jazz bar called the Blue Note.
Ooh, I love jazz. Tell me more.
It's like this hidden gem tucked away down a quiet alley.
Mm-hmm.
You walk in, and it's like stepping into another era, dim lighting, plush velvet seats, and this incredible live jazz music.
So it's got that old school speakeasy vibe.
Yeah, kind of. And the musicians are amazing. They play everything from classic jazz standards to like more experimental stuff. It's a great place to just relax, sip a cocktail, and soak up the music.
I can already picture myself there. Now, we've covered so much ground in this deep dive, but I feel like there's still so much more to explore.
There is, and that's the beauty of Morrison Hill Road. It's a place that keeps on giving. But we do have to wrap things up for this part.
That's right, but don't worry, we'll be back for part 3, where we'll delve even deeper into the heart of Morrison Hill Road's community.
Exactly. We'll talk about the organizations, the initiatives, the people who are making a real difference and shaping the future of this incredible place.
All right, welcome back to our deep dive into Morrison Hill Road.
We've talked about the history, the food, the art, even some hidden gems, but now it's time to really get to the heart of it, the community.
Yeah, through all our exploring, it's that sense of community that's really stood out to me. What is it about Morrison Hill Road that brings people together like that?
Well, I think it's a combination of things, right? You have this like rich history that kind of binds people together. And then there's this spirit of resilience. This neighborhood has seen a lot of changes, but the people have always come together to face those challenges, to adapt, to keep the spirit of Morrison Hill Road alive.
So it's about more than just living there. It's about actively shaping the community.
Exactly. And you see that in all the different community initiatives that are happening. Like there are community gardens where people grow their own food. There are neighborhood cleanup days. People really take ownership of their space.
It sounds like people genuinely care about Morrison Hill Road and want to make it a better place.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And it's not just about like physical improvements, it's about building connections,
Mm.
creating a sense of belonging.
I'm curious to learn more about the organizations that are driving these initiatives.
Yeah.
What are some of the groups that are really making a difference?
Well, one that stands out is the Morrison Hill Neighborhood Association.
Okay, tell me about them. What do they do?
They're like a group of volunteers, residents who are passionate about making Morrison Hill Road a better place for everyone.
So they're really the voice of the community.
Yeah, they organize all sorts of events like social gatherings, cultural festivals, things that bring people together. And they also advocate for like better public services, affordable housing, things that really impact people's lives.
So they're not just about fun and games, they're also about addressing serious issues that affect the community.
Exactly. And they're really effective. They've been instrumental in getting things done, making real changes in the neighborhood.
That's inspiring to hear. Are there any other groups or initiatives that are doing cool things?
Oh, tons. There's this art collective that offers free art classes for kids. They even have workshops for adults. It's a great way to foster creativity and bring people together.
Art has a way of doing that, right? Bringing people together, inspiring them.
Yeah, for sure. And there's also like a community library that's run entirely by volunteers. They have this incredible collection of books, and they even host reading groups and workshops.
It's amazing what people can achieve when they come together with a shared purpose.
It is, it is. And you see that spirit of collaboration everywhere on Morrison Hill Road.
We can't talk about community without talking about the places where people live. What's the residential landscape like on Morrison Hill Road? What kind of housing options are there?
Well, it's really diverse, actually. You have everything from like these modern high-rise apartment buildings to like these charming old walk-up buildings, those classic balconies and green shutters.
So there's something for everyone, no matter their style or budget.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
And the mix of residents is just as diverse. You have families, young professionals, artists, retirees. It's a real melting pot.
I love that. It sounds like a place where everyone can find their niche, their sense of belonging.
Yeah, definitely. And you see that diversity reflected in the street life, in the shops, the restaurants. It's just a really vibrant and interesting place to be.
And speaking of interesting, we can't forget about the role education plays in shaping a community. What are the educational opportunities like on Morrison Hill Road?
Well, there are some really great schools in the area, both public and private. So families have a lot of options. And it's not just about like traditional schooling. There are also all sorts of community-based learning opportunities.
Like those art classes in the community library we talked about earlier.
Exactly. And there's also like a community center that offers all sorts of classes, workshops, everything from cooking to language learning to yoga.
So it's a place where learning is a lifelong pursuit.
Yeah, for sure. And that really contributes to the overall vibrancy of the community. When people are constantly learning and growing, it just creates this really positive energy.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into Morrison Hill Road, what are some key takeaways for our listeners? What makes this place so special?
Well, I think the biggest takeaway is that Morrison Hill Road is more than just a street. It's a living, breathing community. It's a place where history, culture, and community spirit all come together to create something truly unique.
It's a reminder that even in a bustling city like Hong Kong, you can still find these pockets of authenticity, these places where people genuinely care about each other and their neighborhood.
Yeah, and it's a place that's constantly evolving. There's always something new to discover, new stories to be told. So if you ever get the chance to visit Hong Kong, make sure to put Morrison Hill Road on your list.
Absolutely. It's a place that will surprise you, inspire you, and maybe even steal a little piece of your heart. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into Morrison Hill Road. It's been a real pleasure exploring this amazing place with you.
It has been. Thanks for having me.
And to our listeners, until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep connecting.